Were you pleased with how the unit operated Saturday?
Yeah, for the most part, I was pretty pleased. I thought, other than a couple 3-and-outs there, I thought we played a pretty good game. Looking back on it, you wish you had the pick six back like Coach talked about. You had the special teams fumble. We're not good enough to have those kind of mistakes to overcome those. But yeah, overall, I thought we played pretty good, considering what we were doing, and we stayed pretty simple, which I thought was really good. It helped us out, and we were able to play fast there towards the beginning, and then again, when you're having 3-and-outs, you got to slow down a little bit, so you're helping your defense out a little bit.
That's what I was wondering. It seemed like you guys had really picked up the pace early.
Right.
But you slowed is it primarily just because of 3-and-outs?
Yeah, after the 2 touchdown drives, Darryl goes in and has a good drive, which we have a really good 4th-and-1 call. We don't execute it really well, and it gets stuffed. And just after that, we had a couple 3-and-outs, just a couple series in a row. We got 3-and-out, 3-and-out. And you just put your defense in the bind when you do that. So we had to slow down a little bit at that point.
Last week, Prescott was the leading rusher with 35 yards. Watching the film, is there any adjustments that you guys want to make in the rush game?
Yeah, well, I was, honestly looking at it, I was kind of disappointed in our run game after Saturday night. I thought going into the game, I thought we'd be able to do more than we did in the running game, and I thought we would have done better, and I was kind of disappointed in that. But again, we're really close to having some really good big plays. I mean, it's just always one guy. I know I've said that over and over and over, but it continues to be just one guy here and there, and that one guy changes. It's not just one person. It's on, whether Darryl, he tries to pull it and do something that's in the system, but we don't execute it. We get hit for a loss, we hand it off, it goes for a touchdown, or one of our linemen come off their guy, or our 3-back doesn't do, or our tight end doesn't do what he's supposed to do. So it's always one guy, but always changes, week to week. It's not just one guy all the time.
Cortland does so many things, and he draws so much attention. How valuable is he, even when he doesn't catch the ball?
Well, that's a great point. A lot of teams are trying to keep 2 guys over the top of him, and when that happens, you got to be able to run the football. So I mean, and we had some really good calls into that. But again, we just one guy. It seems like one guy every time that just comes off as a guy early and causes us to get hit for a loss, or just a no gain, or maybe a 1-yard gain when it should have been a 4- or 5-yard gain. So he is valuable in that aspect, that they're having to feel like they have to keep 2 guys over the top, and even Tulsa had 3 guys at some times over the top of them. We got to do a better job of running the ball at his side when they're doing that.
When you see him go over defensive backs or beat double coverage, is it hard to not call his number over and over and over again?
It is, and again, you can't get one-dimensional. You got to be balanced, and we try to continue to run the ball and try to stay with it. And again, we play pretty good, other than a few things here and there. But you can't just rear back and throw it deep to him every time, because he's gonna drop some, or the DB's gonna make a play. They're gonna double cover him, or we try to double move him one time and take a shot, and they've had 3 guys over the top of him. So it's hard to resist not to throw up to him every time and let him go make a play. But when you do that, you get behind the chains, and that's again 2nd week in a row where we've had double-digit 3rd and longs, and we got to stay out of 3rd and longs. And that was one of our goals. Is South Florida, we had 14 3rd and longs. This week we had 12. So we got to stay ahead of the chains, and if you take shots to Cortland every play, if it doesn't work out, then you're behind the chains and you're trying to catch up.
When you run like the halfback pass, which has obviously worked twice this year, does that depend on circumstance, or do you go in thinking, hey, we're going to do this again, we need to do it just a little bit differently?
Yeah, just depending on how they're playing it. We have again, we don't have trick plays. We have just plays that are in our offense that are off of another play, and we work them so much that you feel confident calling it. We knew if we got the challenge overturned, we were going to go with it, and felt really good about it. There was another opportunity in the game where I felt like we were about to pull the trigger on another one, and kind of looking back on it, wish I would have. But we practice those all the time, and we're always ready for them.
When you look back at the film, how'd you evaluate your offensive line this week?
Yeah, they played okay. Again, giving up too much ground. A lot of the time, those guys are, they're just bull rushing us sitting right in Matt's lap. But for the majority of the time, they're doing what they're supposed to do. They just got to strain. What we always say is strain to finish, and you're getting to the right spot, just strain to finish. And looking back on it, I wish Braylon didn't have his best game. He probably played his worst game to this point. Not having Nick Ventura out there, I think, hurt us from a rotation standpoint. But we got to continue to get better up front. It's to continue to strain to finish, and they're doing the right things. They're in the right places. It's just we got to keep them off the quarterback and keep him from sitting in his lap when he's trying to throw the ball down the field.
Coach said Saturday that after that 4th and 1 that you guys couldn't convert, things got away a little bit. When you watched the film after that, did you see more of that? Was that one guy more pronounced after that, or was it something that they did that just kind of kept off balance and weren't able to
No,
adjust
it was looking back on it. During the game it was tough because we had the guy going to the right place, but watching the film, he got there late. If that makes sense, he was in a spot where we worked it all week, and we worked it a lot that week, and we felt really good about calling it 4th and 1, and turning the tape on Saturday night and to see him kind of look to the right, kind of like, oh, am I supposed to be doing this or not? I think that's what kind of messed it up. But again, we felt confident in that call. I mean, we'd worked it all week long, more than really any other short yardage play we had on the game plan. And again, just for whatever reason, we looked a little confused and we were a little slow off the ball and didn't execute the play.